Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's my privilege to speak with you today. Topic on the day for this 30 minutes, if they're going to give me that long. I doubt if it's a surprise to anyone, having cover crops build soil quality. I hope it's not. I'm going to talk about that and show you some demonstrations. The slake test, which you've been around Ohio the last 2 years anyway, been to many meetings, you've probably seen the slake test already. If you haven't, you're in for a treat. You're in for an eye-opening experience. Maybe not a treat. And also do the infiltration test. Mr. Scarpiti from our state office, the agronomist for Ohio, has done that around Ohio a lot as well. We're going to do it here. That's me. I work out of the Inglewood office, just northwest of Dayton a little bit. Try to stay out of the picture. There's my phone number if you want to call me. If I say anything you think I'm crazy and you don't get a chance to ask me today, you can call me. Okay? You'll see me driving around this part of the country, 18 counties, southwest Ohio. My green truck parked right outside that door. Usually I'm checking sunflowers, woods, or pasture to see if there's any wetlands out there. They always hope there isn't. Sometimes it is. But that's where you'll see me sometimes driving around. Once in a while, they let me get away from that. I get to come and talk soil, the thing I love to do most. Okay? Take a look at this picture. 2 soil profiles, 2 ecosystems. There's life in both. The life on the right, the soybean monoculture, 17 years of soybean conventional tillage. Doubt if anybody's doing that much. I've seen it done. That soil has no horizons. Organic matter's been depleted. You can see on the picture there it says 1.6% organic matter in that soil. On the left is one example of a natural ecosystem, a forest. Organic matter in that is 4.3%. These soils started at the same exact place. These properties of the soil here, climate, topography, biota, the biotic, the life in the soil, parent material, and time, exactly the same when these management practices were implemented on these soils, the same exact soil. Yet today they look so different. That's a problem. We need to know why. What's going wrong? This is what's going wrong. These properties listed here are the properties we all influence when we manage our fields using the crop management techniques we've selected. These properties can either improve or get worse. Okay? Organic matter and soil structure you'll find are very important. Structure, and we're going to test that with the aggregates up here. You can see it in your soil. You can stick your finger in your soil, and if it won't go in, you don't have any structure. Your structure is poor. Okay? If you go into a forest, you stick your finger in the top layer, you can stick your finger in that soil. Okay? Same thing with infiltration rate, bulk density, all these things are very healthy in a healthy soil like on the left in a forest. You've got to have the water soak in. You've got to have macropores, micropores, all the pores you have. Nitrile burrows, root channels that the root has died, but yet those remain in the soil if the soil structure is strong. If it isn't, they go away. Water does not soak in there. That happens on the right. Grassland, the same thing. Another example of a natural ecosystem, we can mimic that. Farm like Mother Nature. We can do a much better job using crops. We don't have to fight the natural way that crops and plants grow. We can work together. There you go. That's a famous saying. I guess I'll say it's famous. Ray Archuleta said that a lot of times. Some of these slides, a good number of them, are from his bank of slides. He gave me about 130 of them when he came to Ohio about 3 years ago. And I use them whenever I get a chance to, because, like I said, I do wetlands. I don't have a lot of time to put slides together. A diverse live root. Diverse meaning the more type of plants you have, has a live root in your soil, better quality that soil's going to have. Not only because of the residue, because of what additions of organic matters that the roots put into the soil. Now, we're going to do our slake test. The porosphere, That's a sub-ecosystem, part of the ecosystem in the soil that exists in a healthy soil. You have areas that have concentrated amounts of pores. What holds that? Biotic glue, okay? Help. You guys are right up front. Can I ask you to be my helpers? Come right on around here. I'll work these two. You guys go down the far end and work those 4 down there if you would, please. We have the lights. The lights be good here. No, on all the way. Thank you. All right. What's your name, sir? Paul. Paul and Eric. Paul and Eric. We want to thank Paul and Eric for helping me out today. Paul's going to work the first 2 columns of water on my right. The soil is in front of Paul, and these 2 soils here are the same exact thing. Both ends, soil looks like this. Hold yours up, Paul. This is from vegetable ground, Montgomery County. It's outwash soil called Wea. It's a loamy, somewhat loamy soil. This soil has had vegetables for 30 years, 32 years now. It has been cultivated every time a weed sticks his head up. That's the way my uncle likes to keep his vegetables. You don't want no weeds, and so he gets his cultivator out with an old board plow. So we're going to see what happens when that goes in the water. Now remember the secret to this whole test. Does the sample have biotic glues enough to withstand the forces, water rushing into this aggregate, macro aggregate, the one on the right up here, aggregated state, you see microbial and fungal byproducts, that's the glue. Glomalin, for one example, mycorrhiza fungi, puts glue in the ground, holds these. If you have enough, that's the secret, and that's important. You got to test your ground to see if you got enough. If you don't have enough, something wrong. You got to help it. This is not magic. I didn't do anything special to this soil other than I dug it. This has actually been dug about 3-4 months ago. They should be air dried about a week to work really good. Okay, that way when the water rushes into them, the force, energy that causes that clod to try to expand, if there's not glue, it's going to fall apart. The structure is going to disintegrate. Okay, without glue. Now this one, Paul, the one in your left hand, let me drop these in the water, came from Christmas tree ground. The grass in between the rows has been grass there for 32 years. A lot of healthy microorganisms, a lot of biotic glue in place. So we're going to test those. Now, Eric? That's right. These next 2 columns, now these 2 are going to be the same. This is just going to be in the middle. You have to look here. On the left here we have conventional tillage. This is from Champaign County. The caveat to that one is it was 17 years no-till. It started 17 years ago. But the last 2 years has been, did I say this wrong? I did. Conventional till started 17 years ago on this one on the left. But no-till for 2 years, the last 2. And this is no-till long-term. Champaign County soils. Okay? Any questions about that? Now that I confuse you completely. Hope I haven't. All right, let's go back. When I count 3, let's put them in the water. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're going to let them work a while. Now, you see I'm working pretty good on the far end. This one here's, I don't know, a little bit slower. They don't all rack the same. There's a good reason for that. Pores in the soil are different. Porosity. And you need to know this about your soil. Does your soil have good porosity? If there's good porosity, the water can go in. If there isn't, if it's been squished, somebody got out there with their tractor because they got in a hurry, run their tractor in the field with maybe harvesting, or a grain cart, when it was a little too wet, smashed it together and the pores are gone. Bulk density went up. Then maybe this won't react the way you expect it to. That on the end's working pretty good. Where's the glue? It's gone. Okay? All the others with the no-till or the Christmas tree farm under grass for 30 years, voila. The glue's doing its thing. Holding these aggregates together. Eric and Paul, thank you. Appreciate it. Give them a hand, please. Now we're going to let those run the whole time. You come up and look at them. We'll finish here when you have a break. Now, let me get out of the way. Let's show you this picture. A lot of landscapes in Ohio look like this. Crop fields. Yeah, we better have the lights. Thank you. No cover is common. This is from Grand Lake St. Mary's watershed. Ray Archuleta took this picture when he was coming to visit us in 2010. Okay, now he's got an arrow strategically placed on this screen. He says, maybe you can't see that. Productive factory workers. Can you see that? What is that? Microbes. There's animals in the soil. Where's that pointed to? It's pointing to the green spot. You see that green spot right around this woods? And in the woods, you have roots. That's when you get productive workers in the soil. You have roots. What's the big deal about roots? Huh? Roots are leaky. There's a lot of root exudates, juice that comes out of the soil, for lack of a better word. Fancy names you can use, amino acids, all kind of polysaccharides. Glomalin. There's a lot of stuff leaks out of roots, goes in the soil, holds aggregates together. But those microbes are at work in your soil as long as you have a growing root. If you don't have a growing root, it's off, it's done. You shut the factory off. No more rhizosphere soil. Rhizosphere. Maybe you've heard me use that word. You probably heard Ray use it if you heard him. Rhizosphere is a narrow zone around any growing root that is enriched organically from root exudates. The stuff that leaks out of roots goes in the soil, feeds the microbes. To have healthy crop production, you have to feed the microbes. And that's what the Creator figured that out a long time ago when he created all this. Now all we have to do is remember. We don't have to go out here and reinvent the process. But we have to know what's going on. Okay? All right. Profile of soil, let's say in a cornfield, looks like it's at the end of the row or something. Somewhere where maybe the combine header wasn't set too, the chaff spreader wasn't set too good. It's all bunched up. You've got a thick, very thick corn fodder there, looks like in this picture. Detritus on the surface. Right below that, decomposition active zone. You've got all kinds of animals in the soil that live right at the interface between the residue and the topsoil. Okay? They chew up the residue in smaller pieces. Then other microorganisms come along, chew it up even finer. And other microorganisms come along, break the residue down into all kind of nutrients that are available. Soil nutrients. Residue is full of them, but in a lot of cases, they're not available to the plant without the help of microbes. I hope you're starting to see the importance of the microorganisms in the soil. The soil health, the biology of the soil is what's going to build you a healthy soil. If you don't have that biology, it's not going to build you a healthy soil. Microorganisms go to work, the life processes they go through, what they leave behind causes all kinds of substances to hold soil together, the biotic glue. So you get aggregation right below that layer, where you have decomposition. And then working on down, you have zones of aggregation in all the layers below that. Just a little corner up there in the top right of that slide showing you some of the animals that live in the soil. Bacteria, the most numerous that you find in soil. Billions of them in a teaspoon of soil. Fungi, okay? In healthy soil that's not disturbed, the fungi can persist, multiply, help hold these aggregates together. In the Christmas trees and in no-till, the fungi are allowed to persist. They're not destroyed, so they hold in the aggregates. You can see it in the canisters of water here. You can see it in your field with your shovel if you dig the aggregates up and you look at them and they're strong. And they hold together when you roll them around in your hand like that. If they're not, you better get some more organic matter, some more root exudates, some more body glue, glomalin. Another kind of animal in the soil, something called actinomycete. They also have filaments go out into the soil, much like fungi do, but they're finer. They have a substance called geosmin. It gives the soil its earthy smell. Back in the day when you remember you used to plow, you could smell that. Geosmin. Soil glue holds it together. Actinomyces is the second most populous microbe you have in your soil, right behind bacteria. There's a lot of them in healthy soil, unless you're disturbing their filaments. And then critters that live in the soil eat them up. That's what happens when you do any process in the soil. The microbes that find a new food supply there as a result of the tillage you did, you get more air in the soil. They find their food supply, they're going to have a population explosion. They go on a feeding frenzy and they eat the glue. They eat all that good stuff in the soil, hold your aggregates. It feeds the microbes, builds your soil health, goes away. Millipedes, up there is one example of a shredder. Eats that fodder, breaks it up into little pieces, so the next rank of organism can break it down even more. Then you got over here, you got this guy here, the predator, tiger beetle. Get other examples of animals in the soil, he eats them up. Anything in the soil has got somebody else. It's a bigger monster, it eats them up. Okay? And that's just, that's nature. It's supposed to be that way. If they didn't have the tiger beetle come along and eat them, their populations would go crazy, go out of control. And then their food supply would be gone. You know, the cycle would change. They would diminish. Everyone has its niche, and everyone needs to be there. Okay? Here's some of the ecosystems you get in soil. Detritus is the cover, porosphere, Rhizosphere, right around the worm, especially nightcrawler burrows are the best example. Aggregates and Rhizosphere. Zone of power. That's, maybe explain that some more when we talk a little bit later. My chart leaning up against the wall. There's an area, we talked about the Rhizosphere. Got some more here in a minute. All right, right there. If you look around this growing root here, there's a light blue zone. We'll call that the Rhizosphere, around the edge of the root. The leaky stuff, the root exudates that come out of the root, go into the soil, makes that zone organically rich. Rich with food for microbes. That's why you have 5 to 2,000 times bacteria. Just one example. All the other little animals that live in the soil, much more prolific around the root. What an amazing situation. The Creator put in the soil up to as much as 20% of the photosynthetic products, the activity of the plant, the root sacrifices out through into the soil to feed the microbes. The plant even knows we've got to feed the microbes because the Creator made it that way. What took us so long to figure this out? We got to feed the microbes. That's how we build soil health. That's how we make our crop fields more productive. It's even possible someday to make them sustainable. Now that's a big word. And that takes a major accomplishment. But we'd be happy, wouldn't we, if we could reduce our fertilizer 50 to 70%? Ask Dave Brand about it. He's done that. What about the herbicides? We can reduce them 50%, maybe more. Depends on the weeds you have or controlled by the allelopathic effect of the cover crop you choose to use. There's a lot to learn about this. A lot about Mother Nature that we can help us have more productive farming. 4 reasons, 4 things to shoot for to build habitat for the microbes, less disturbance of the soil, more diversity, what's growing. What's growing on top? Joe Clapperton made this statement about that. You have more diversity on top. The diversity below ground mirrors that, but it's even better than a mirror. It's magnified. 10 to 100 times more diverse below ground than above ground. That's her statement. That's her research she's done and presented that to us in presentation before. Keep the soil covered. If you keep the soil covered, you've got living roots. Well, if we keep it covered with a cover crop. But even just having a cover residue out there, some kind of organic matter source, is a plus. But there is no better form of organic matter to feed the microbes than the root exudates. The most available form that you can have. I'm down to 5 minutes. We're going to have to do my next demonstration. Maybe I can get a couple folks. How about you guys right there? Will you help me? Can you come in and help me? Please, come forward. If you would, sir, right on this end and right on this end. Put about 10 or 15 shakes of it. This is dissolved reactive phosphorus. Actually, it's powdered sugar, okay? Don't be afraid. Just go ahead. 15 or more. We want to get enough here. I'm going to give you each a glass of water here. Don't drink this. This might not be a drink. Probably be okay, but if you would, sir. What's your name? Ethan. Ethan? Great. Great. Appreciate your help. Now, set up my radiator here. I should have had this water poured before. Having so much fun doing nothing. All right. Now this is my raining simulator, my rainulator. We're going to see what this rain does to these two soils. First, let's talk about the soil we have in this. The soil on my right is no-till. You see the corn residue on top. There's soybean residue down under there. That's from my folks' farm in Montgomery County. 30 years continuous no-till. Over here. We're going to see what happens when we add. Let's see if we have any infiltration. Did this no-till really help? Over to the left, we have conventional tillage. I don't know how many years. David, this comes from your neighbor's place. So one that settled down, and you can tell there's a big lip around this one. It was right up to the top when Mark Scarpini first pulled that. But this has been dumped a lot of times. And when you repeatedly wet conventionally tilled soil, there's no glue, what happens to the structure? It settles, falls in on itself, becomes more dense. Well, we're going to see if that really plays out. So, any questions? Let's get our water, and on three. Pour it into that cup, all one, two, three. Oops. Experimental error, that's all right, man. We're on in here. All right. It's what? You can pull that. That's all right. I think it'll be okay. We'll let it drip a little bit. On the left, sir, you see anything beginning to happen?
On the left, oh, it's running off.
On this side? I did not. So I was
Soaking
going
in.
by there, sorry.
It's soaking in, absorbing it.
Anything coming through the bottom? No-till on your left. There is. If you want to come up and look at it, you'll see there is some green water coming through the bottom. There's macropores go all the way through that soil. Of course, that was cut out of the ground. In situ, it was not disturbed. It's just like it was out in the field. In your field, you might have these macropores going down from root channels or night crawler burrows. You go all the way down, maybe to the bottom of your rooting zone. This is only about 4 inches thick. But in fact, in the no-till situation where the pores are open, clear to the surface, it does provide a pathway for water to come into your soil. Do you know how big that is? I'm sure if you've been studying this, that is so huge because when it comes like last summer, July, August, so dry, crops suffering for water. It don't have to be that way. In no-till, especially with cover crops, when you got macropores, water soaks in, infiltrates, percolates down through the soil, through the root zone, perhaps clear to the bottom. You have water stored in all those layers, all the way down. How about on the left? What happened here?
Run off.
It did, didn't it? We got a little bit of a lip here, and you can see some of the phosphorus stuck in that puddle right by the bottom end of that tray. Rest of it run off. I got enough of a hill. Some of it got out, even out of the lip. Wow. correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't see any in the bottom. Of course, that's been destroyed by water for a lot of times. Thank you, gentlemen. Give us a hand, will you please? These kind of tests are very important. If you know this information about your soil, it gives you a very good practical way to assess the health of your soil. I recommend you do this. I want to go, I think I'm down to less than 5 minutes, maybe no minutes. Somebody want to tell me? Well, I'm going to take 5 more. I'm going to go clear to the end here. Sorry I didn't get to talk about all these slides. But there's 2 at the very end. Oh, you've got to look at those mycorrhizal fungi. You see the soil sticking to them roots. There's dormal in there. There's glue. It sticks the soil to the roots. If you dig your soil and there's no soil sticking to the roots of your plants, you don't have dormant. You don't have body glue. You got to work on that if you want to take advantage of the biological soil health improvements that you can achieve through the microorganisms. Feeding the microbes. And then, of course, up here, look at all these white strands. You want to look for that too. Good, healthy mycorrhizal fungi. You're going to have white filaments all throughout that zone of the soil. Look for them. If you're good, if you have them, you're happy, right? You can get a few more. But if you don't have them, that's bad. You got to work on it. Okay? I got to go clear at the end. I didn't even get to talk about night crawlers. Look here. See? Of course, I had enough here for probably an hour. Let's look at this one. Right here is a corn root, and this is a corn root. Why is the one on top so dark? It was grown in Rhizosphere soil. What does that mean? Huh? The soil is sticking to the root. It has glomulin. It's sticking. It's biolate glue is holding the soil to the root. That tells you there's been a great amount of root exudates in the off season, before the corn was planted, let's put it in this case. There was actively rhizosphere effects happening in the soil. Okay? So that root looks dark. You go down to the bottom and see it down here, that's not rhizosphere soil. It's not rhizosphere effect in the off season. So it's looking kind of white. That's corn, this is canola. Same thing for both of those. You see the difference in the architecture of the roots. When you get practicing and trying different kinds of cover crops, you're going to find they have different roots. They go to different depths. You need to play around, get just the right one that'll fix your soil where it's problem going. All right. Now, we had a lot of fires in this example. You till the soil. These copatrophic bacteria go to work eating the glue. Those little fish come along. Call them prawns, call them whatever you want. That's the copatrophic bacteria. The first thing you do, you get a big bulge of air. Carbon dioxide is dissolved. The organic matter goes off in the atmosphere. Okay? There's not a food base to drive to feed the microbes anymore. This happens too much. Of course, with the mold-borne cloud happens plenty. You lose a bunch. You can lose the benefits of 10 years of CRP in one season after doing this. All that work, those workers, those productive workers in the soil at the end of the CRP period, where they've been not disturbed, they've been allowed to multiply and grow. They can be gone in one season. Now you're starting over again. Or if you prefer, you can put on fertilizer. Or you can use the fertilizer. It comes with the little bags down in the ground on the nodules of the huminous plants. Or from the actinomycetes, which fix nitrogen in the ground. Or from this other bacteria, which is a free-living bacteria in the soil, which also fixes nitrogen. All the microbes, the mycorrhizal fungi, when they're allowed to live, bring phosphorus in. Bring it up from below. The cover crops go down deep, they can bring it up from below into the rooting zone. Feed your crop. You don't get any of these benefits if you have this situation. Okay? Now you make the choice. You can look at a cover like this or eat it all. Dave's going to show you some stuff higher in his head. It's got a lot of roots. and you get the below ground diversity, not just a mirror of the above ground diversity, 10 to 100 times more what you see on top is below ground. All the microbes, dinner bells been rang when those roots start oozing out all that juice into the soil. And their population explodes, and you got a whole army of workers in your soil, helping your soil be more productive, making you more profitable, making your soil more healthy for the future. We can go on continuing aggressively till the soil, or we can tap into the secrets of Mother Nature, build our soil, be more productive on our farms, and maybe we might even have a chance to feed the billions of people we have on this planet if we take care of our soil. Thank you.